Now joining us on the podium is Texas Tech head coach Joey McGuire. We'll begin with your opening statement, Coach, and we'll open up to the floor for questions from the media.
Thank you. It's exciting to see everybody. Whenever we're here at Media Day, that means football is just right around the corner. Before I talk about my team, being a proud Texan and being nowhere else, I just want to, again, we put this out the other day, but our prayers are with everybody in Central Texas. Have family that live in those areas and have had different alumni reach out to me that have had young ladies and kids going to different camps. And so I just want to say that at Texas Tech, we're praying for you guys. I can't imagine. Debbie and I have talked about it as parents of what they're going through, and just want to know that you are in our thoughts and our prayers. I'm honored to represent Texas Tech. I'm honored to represent our administration and the best AD in the country in Kirby Holcutt. We're really excited. We brought 6 players with us to represent Texas Tech. Our quarterback, Baron Morton, our wide receiver, Caleb Douglas, our outside linebacker, Romello Height, the preseason defensive player of the year, Jacob Rodriguez, Lee Hunter, our defensive tackle, and then Cole Wisniewski, our safety. Really excited about what they've done, help bringing this new team together. We have had a great spring. We have had a great summer, and, man, we cannot wait for camp to start, and we cannot wait for the season to start. So with that, open up for questions.
Again, if you have a question, please raise your hand. Got one here in the front, center.
Hello, Coach.
How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
Great.
Wanted to ask you just about Caleb and what have you seen in his development coming off of last season, obviously off season, and as he prepares for this upcoming 2025 season to be able to enhance the offense that you presented.
Yeah, I'm excited. Caleb Douglas, I've known him for a long time, recruited him out of high school. He's really developing as a big play guy. He really came on strong in the Big 12. I think he had 5 100-yard games in the Big 12 last year, and, had a 100-yard game against Arkansas. He had a good spring. He's one of the guys that, has an opportunity with a big year to declare early for the draft. And if he does that, it means he had a great year, and that's good for the Red Raiders. But I'm just really proud of him. And one of the reasons he's one of the 6 that we brought is because of his leadership that he's shown in off-season and the voice that he's developed in that wide receiver room. He's become a real leader. He and Coy Aiken are the 2 leaders in that room, and excited about the season that he's going to have.
All right, again, if you have a question, please raise your hand until our microphone holder gets to you. Also, please state your name and media affiliation.
Stephen Johnson, Fort Worth Star-Telegram. How you doing, Coach?
Doing good, man.
Yes, sir. So you guys, with what you guys did in the portal on the recruiting trail, I kind of feel like you guys have been one of these programs that has kind of taken up a lot of attention this offseason. First, I guess, how exciting has that been for you? And I guess, what are your expectations for the program this year with so much talent, both returning and what you guys are bringing in?
Yeah, it's been a fun offseason. We were really aggressive whenever it came to the portal and meeting some of our needs for the football team. I've been really proud of those guys for, I always look at what's the feel in the locker room culturally, the standard that we practice at, but then other things. Like, this is the 3rd semester in a row that we've had a 3.0 or better as a GPA. And we brought in all those new guys. A lot of them have already graduated from college, but are still taking 12 hours, and we're able to do that in the classroom. I know there's a lot of expectations on the team. We look at it as opportunities. Jack Richards, a good friend of mine, went to Texas Tech. Son played at Texas Tech, and he sent me that text. He says, expectation or opportunities, it's all perspective. And we look at it that we have a great opportunity. I think this conference is really strong. There's a lot of teams that have some big opportunities this year to really make a statement, and we're planning on being one of them.
All right, go center right, 6 rows back.
Tyler Budge, CF Budge. Coach, you guys had Zach Kittley last season as one of the brightest young offensive minds in the sport. He obviously gets the opportunity to lead FAU this season as the head coach. And you went and got Mac Leftwich this offseason, another guy that is in a similar position, a rising, young, great offensive mind. Do you anticipate he'll eventually get an opportunity to lead a team as well? And can you describe what it means to your team to have a guy like that in the building for another year?
Yeah, I think Mac, I knew Zach was going to be a head coach. He has those qualities, and I'm excited for him. I want to be around guys that want to move up, that want to be coordinators and want to be head coaches. I see the same thing in Mac. He's a coach's kid, just like Zach was, and he understands, what it takes to lead a team. I've been really impressed. I'm excited to go into a game with him. I've seen what he's doing, whenever he attacks our defense, but I'm ready to see what he did. But, you look at, there's 2 young guys that have had a lot of success. Kittley had a lot of success at Western Kentucky and had a lot of success at Texas Tech. And Mac has done the same thing. He did it at Incarnate Word. He did it at Texas State. And I know he's really excited about the offense that he has to lead. But I really do think Mac will be a head coach. I'm hoping I get to keep him for at least 3 years like I got to keep Kittley. But I expect him to be a head coach someday.
All right, we'll go to center left.
Bryce Cherry, Waco Trib. Joey, how are you?
What's up, man? It's great to see you.
Good to see you. Micah Hudson was a guy that had kind of a unique offseason. Can you just walk us through the re-recruitment of him and what are your expectations for him next season?
Yeah, thank you for that question. Whenever the portal opened up, I called his mom. And I said, I'm going to reach out to Micah because his mom didn't want him to leave. And she said, you don't have to worry about reaching out to Micah. He's coming to see you face to face. And I said, well, I can give him a call. And she goes, no, whenever he left your office, whenever he got in the portal, he did it as a man, and he's going to come back and talk to you face to face. And, the first thing I did before he even started talking, I said, Micah, let me open up and tell you what I feel like I did wrong and what I would do different if I could do it over again. And I think that really, we've had a really good relationship. It got strained at the end, and I think that really kind of opened that, took some of the barriers down. Maybe he was worried that I'd be upset with him, and he's been good, man. We really, right now through the spring and the summer, our mindset as a team is make the main thing the main thing. And the main thing is be on time. And then the second part is when you walk into the building or walk on the football field, empty the tank. This is the standard we're going to practice at. And that's all I'm asking out of these guys right now. And he's done that this summer. And so I'm glad to have him back. And I think it's going to be a great story.
How are you, Coach?
What's up, buddy?
I'm Jarrett Ramirez with RedRaidersports.com.
Wreck 'em.
Yes, sir. Obviously, a lot of the focus is going to be on the defensive side and what you brought in with the portal. But like you said in your statement, Jacob Rodriguez was named preseason Defensive Player of the Year. How big was it to get him back for this year, and what does he mean for you and your team as a whole?
Yeah, it was huge. We had the conversation. He and his wife came into my office, sit down with, we do a PowerPoint presentation for guys that are eligible for the draft, and all the information that we get from the NFL and from the scouts. And we sit down with him and his wife and, walk through where he thought he would go and what the benefits would be for him coming back. And, man, I'm just glad he made the choice to come back. He is such a rock star when it comes to our culture and our building and the way we work. I mean, he's a pro. He understands, and we're always searching for people's why. When you have older guys like him who's married, it's easy to know his why. And so we were able to use that and make sure he came back. And so I was excited, very honored that he was named preseason Defensive Player of the Year. And now he knows he's got to go back it up.
We have time for one final question. We'll go center rack right.
Hi, Coach. Joe Lonergan with Latavius Murray's Knights 247. You brought Lee Hunter with you this week. Can you talk about how he's fit in with your program these last several months and what your expectations are for him this season?
Yeah, if you hadn't got to talk to Lee, man, he's bigger than life, man. He's got such a great personality. The one thing that we didn't want to do whenever we brought all these new guys in, some of these guys have been leaders on their previous teams, and so we wanted to make sure that we gave them a voice. We gave him a voice, but he's been incredible. Have high expectations just from the standpoint of the level that he can play at and his ability. But I will tell you this, one thing that's fun coming into work every day is we knew that we brought in some really good football players, but we brought in some great men. Like, that's been by far the biggest thing that stand out is we have brought in some really good men that have really helped our culture grow and create this team chemistry. And so really proud of that.
Hey, Coach, thank you, and good luck this season.
All right. Thank you all very much. Wreck 'em.